Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Have a Little Grace. Um, I missed you guys. I missed you guys really, really bad. And I'm so sorry for the month-long hiatus. Um, I've honestly just been really, really stressed. There's been a lot of stuff going on. And I couldn't get to filming or editing the Dakota podcast, but I'm glad that I got the Dakota podcast out when I could. And yeah, I just missed you guys. I missed filming. I missed doing this. And I promise this podcast isn't a phase or a trend. Like this is my podcast and I want to keep going at it. And it's hard, but it's genuinely something I like to do. So I want to keep it going and it brings me a lot of joy. And I hope it brings you guys joy. But let's get in. Oh, I also have a couple other disclaimers. One, this is my very own camera. Very, very exciting making the purchase of buying my own camera. I got off of Facebook Marketplace, and before I was just renting camera equipment from the school, but it's so much nicer to have, my own camera, and it feels very rewarding, and I figured it's like a good purchase for post-grad. So wanted to say that. And then another disclaimer is, yes, the Have a Little Grace CDs right here, it felt really weird with that here. Like, if you're watching, and it just looks so bare. I don't know. Maybe it looks better. I don't know. But I like it there. So I'm going to keep it there. It just looks really bare around this area, and I wanted to do something about it. But anyway, let's get into today's podcast. So today's podcast is about, drumroll please. No drumroll, because I'm not going to edit it in. But today's podcast is about turning 21 and just my thoughts on getting older. So, I want this to come out on my birthday, so if it is my birthday, happy birthday to me. Woohoo! 22, the big 2-2. Flip it around, Wicked Witch. Please don't you guys know that. Anyway, so yes, I am either currently 22. I mean, I'm 21 right now, but I'm turning 22 in about a couple days, and I've had some very mixed emotions about it, honestly, and I kind of just wanted to talk about the concept of, like, aging. Maybe concept isn't the right word. Just the feelings that arise when people age, when I age, and all that good stuff. So, to start, I just want to talk about my initial thoughts on turning 22, which again, like I said, mixed emotions. I'm very excited to start a new chapter. I'm not 21 anymore. But if I'm being brutally honest, I didn't think this would actually happen. I thought I was just going to stay 21 forever. Anybody else? Anybody else think that they were just going to stay 21 forever? It's like, oh my God, I'm 21. Like, such a big deal. I can drink. I can, like, go out to the casino. Or maybe you can do that at 18. I don't know. But you can do things when you're 21. And it's like, oh my God, like, I finally can do, like, everything that's legal in the world. So I'm going to stay this age forever, right? Unfortunately, no. So that's not how it works, apparently. And it's been really weird because I'm like, wait, I'm turning 22? I didn't even think that was possible. And so that was an interesting feeling like I'm not 21. And here's the thing, 21 is probably the last big milestone until 50, I want to say, right? I mean, I know people who tend to turn 30 have, like, a midlife crisis, but I don't know. I just, like, 22 just isn't really that big of a deal, and I don't think turning a certain age is a big deal anymore, I think, after 22 or 21, which is sad. It's really sad because I love birthdays. I know a lot of people, or some people, just, like, don't really care. It gets to a point, but honestly, I like my birthday, and I think it's a very rewarding thing because it's like I've lived and I've accomplished, like, another year of life. I think that's beautiful. And that's where it gets into the positive part of aging and turning a new age is I get to reflect on all the things that I was able to do when I was 21. and all the time that I've had since then. So I'm like, I remember I made a TikTok on my birthday before going to the jug to get my horns. But I remember that TikTok of me, and I think about myself when I turned 21 and where I'm at right now. And it's really cool to see like how much I've accomplished and how much I've done and all the opportunities that I was given within that year. And I think that's a really cool thing. And in a way, I'm excited to see what 22 has in store for me and what's going to happen until I hit 23, which it's actually like crazy to think about. So those are just like my initial thoughts on turning 22 very, very soon. I know a lot of people tend to not like getting older, and that's fair, and that's really, really fair. But I'm trying to change my perspective on aging and my thoughts on aging and how it can be perceived as like a bad thing, or like when you're in your mid-20s, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like that there's like this stigma that it's like not, it like doesn't get like people like it doesn't get easier as you get older, and just like bad things that happen when you get older and when you age, and you know this happens, and like granted, like I do understand like health things happen, your body starts to wear down, all that stuff. That stuff obviously sucks and it's bad. It's bound to happen, but like I'm fortunate in the physical body that I'm in. I'm very fortunate of the social life that I have right now. But I kind of wanted to shift my perspective and my mindset of like getting older, because I think it's nice to get older. You get more experiences, you gain more friends. It's just there's so many opportunities when you get older, and you know, I'm excited. I'm excited as much as I am like feeling icky about it. I'm excited. And I want to change my perspective of like understanding that when you get older, maybe it does get a little scarier, but it can still be fun. Well, yeah, that it can be fun, and that it will be fun, and that everything will be okay. I know that there's a lot of things to worry about more, like, for example, post-grad. That scares me a lot. Post-grad scares me a lot. And that's just a part of getting older, is going through those motions, going through seeing if I can sink or swim and stuff. Which again is scary, is very scary. And another thing is just like when you get older, I feel like in terms of like the stigma, especially like women getting older, I don't know if this pisses anybody else off, but there's all this like anti-aging stuff and like my, not to put my mom on blast, but you know, like she like takes like anti-aging stuff for like her wrinkles, but like honestly, like this might sound like cliche, but like I genuinely do think that wrinkles are just like signs that you've lived so much life, and that you've lived life, and those are your smile lines, those are your frown lines, like that those wrinkles are you and your experiences. And I think that's fucking beautiful. Like I think that's awesome. And I just hate seeing like, oh, like you need like perfect skin, you need like Botox, you need anti-wrinkle cream so that you can hide these features when you get older. But honestly, like I feel like that's beautiful, you know, like if you're, as long as you're like eating healthy and like doing the right things and like taking care of your body, like I think the way that our bodies naturally age is beautiful. And I think like I understand taking care of like your skin is important, but like in terms of like trying to not have wrinkles or like doing everything to avoid it, like for example, the straw, you know, the straw that you don't like wrap your lips around so that you're like when you're older your lips don't get all like wrinkly. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Genuinely, like I think that, like I think like that kind of stuff that gets implemented into our into like what we consume or not consume, into like what we buy. I just think that's like ridiculous. Like, please tell me you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like a straw that's like this, but instead you like sip it. So like there's a hole, like let's say where my knuckle is, and then you just like drink out of it like that. Just drink out of a straw, or just drink out of the cup and like a normal person. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the future. I don't know. Maybe I'm just shitting on the future. I don't know. But I just think stuff like that, or like this is so embarrassing, but I literally used to wear or I guess that doesn't really have to do with aging, so maybe I won't maybe I won't expose myself, but I can't think of another object, but things like that. I'm just like, we don't need it, okay? And so what if you get wrinkles around your lips from drinking from a straw? Who cares? Like, it's okay, like that's okay. And I just really wanted to stress on that. Sorry, I don't mean to like get angry at you or anybody, or the creator of that straw. I get where you're coming from. I see it. But at the end of the day, is wrinkles really that important? Is like aging really that important? And I mean, I guess that also ties into like beauty standards and stuff like that, which I won't necessarily get into. But yeah, I just think that it's a good thing, and that those kind of aging signs are nice. Yes. And again, going back to the mixed emotion things, it's a good thing. And I'm trying to change my perspective, yes, but I'm also acknowledging and mourning my childhood. And what everybody does when they turn a certain age. Well, I don't know about everybody, but I'm speaking for myself. I think it's jarring turning any age. I know some people fear turning 17, turning 18, turning 20, turning 30, anything like that. I think it's jarring to hit a certain age. And I know other people feel it differently. I remember I was on Instagram or TikTok, and I remember seeing this one person saying, like, I'm so scared to turn 18, because it's so scary getting older. And as much as I took a second, and I mean, I judged immediately, I'll admit. But then I was like, wait, like, honestly, like, I get it. I get it. I was well over 18 by that time when I was reading it. I think it was recently. And I was like, wait, like, I do get it, I get the fear of, like, getting older. And, I mean, I think at that point you have to, like, start looking at colleges, if not in college. And that's pretty scary. And again, I'm mourning a lot of things. I'm mourning my childhood. I'm mourning my teenage years still. I'm about to be 22 and I'm still mourning my teenage years, yes. And I'm also mourning, my college experience and my college life, and the fact that I won't be a college student anymore does freak me out a lot. And that comes with aging. That comes with, turning 22. Most people graduate around this time, and that's a little scary. It's really, really scary. And so I think that's also why I'm feeling tricky. It's a weird word. It's a weird word to describe my feelings, but I guess, I'm feeling yeah, let's just say tricky. I can't think of anything else. I'm feeling tricky turning 22 and leaving college and mourning, my college years is part of it. I came in at around 18, 19, something like that. I've been here for 4 years. And yes, I've been here for 4 years. And it's just really sad turning 22. And it was really exciting because everybody was turning 21. And now we can all go to the bar and all hang out. I'm one of the first ones to turn 22 in my friend group. So I feel like unk. Like, chill. Like, I'm unk. Like, yes, I know I'm unk. Like, whatever. Like, you don't have to shove it in my face. Like, I get it. But yeah, in a way it's jarring, but also exciting. And it's also really sad because, the reason why it's also sad is because it's not like how it used to be when you were kids, when you would throw a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, or when I had one at like Build-A-Bear Workshop, and that was really, really sweet, and I miss those times, and I miss birthday parties. I'm actually having a birthday party, and it's gonna be PJ party, and I'm super excited. Um, and yeah, and in terms, I'm gonna go off of like morning, but in terms of actually turning 22 and me being 22 is not real to me. Still, it's actually just a concept. It's an idea. I just don't feel 22. I meant to say this earlier, but I just don't feel 22. I don't even feel 21, honestly. And I feel like I don't look 22. I totally could in your eyes, but me personally, not to like be like, oh, I look super young. But like I do feel like I look like a baby. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I look 22. I feel like I look 19. I don't know. 20? I just don't feel like I look 22. I feel like I look like a baby, and I am a baby, and I was talking to Maya and saying that, being immature and okay. Basically, Maya and I were talking, and I was saying that I'm very youthful, and I don't act like a 22-year-old. I'm mature, and that's when we were talking, like, oh, like I don't. She's like, I don't think you're immature. I just think like you're youthful. I think you're mature for your age, and like I do think I am mature. I have a lot of skills, but I just don't feel 22. Like I might be mature as a 22-year-old, but I feel very youthful. I still laugh at poop jokes? Hell yeah, I do. And I probably will for the next 5 years. I think I just feel like I'm still like a baby, and my humor is very stupid. And I just have a lot of energy, and I know that like once you get older, sometimes you don't have that as much. But I think that's why I don't feel 22. Like I have the responsibilities, and I'm able to like, what's the word? I'm able to do them, but I just don't feel, I feel like I have the energy of like a 16-year-old, if I'm being honest. Like me when I was 16, which is actually really nice. I'm grateful for that, but I just felt like saying I just don't feel like I'm 22. And I feel like I don't look 22. Again, I made you, and that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, I'm just very excited to see what what my 22nd year awaits for me. And I can't wait to see what opportunities arise. Like when I look back at like my 21st year of my life. It's so funny to say it like that. But I got closer with people. I got an internship. I got a promotion. I have been meeting new people. I got a new camera that I bought myself with the help of others, but I got a car. All these really, really cool things. I hit milestones. And yeah, it's really, really fun to see like all that happened in just that 1 year. And, oh, wait, actually, what I do want to touch upon is that the reason why it can be also scary is the fact that I feel like post-grad time can just go by really, really fast. And that scares the hell out of me. Time already went by fast in college. Where'd all the time go? I'm a senior. I'm graduating in the spring in just a couple months. And after that, I no longer have school. And I saw this one TikTok explaining that this person felt like they were just going through the motions and time was going by so fast post-grad when they started their, when they started working. And that's because, in school, there's breaks, there's winter break, there's vacations, all that stuff. And there's things that you can look forward to. And there are time gaps. And once you get out, you don't really have that, it's just work pretty much like Monday through Friday, depending on, your job, obviously. But I am going to really do my best not to do that. I want to be present even right now. Like, I really am trying to savor every moment that I have with my roommates, in college, with my family. I'm really, really, really trying to be present, and I hope that I can also do that post-grad, if I need to, like, they mentioned, taking vacations, so that you have something to look forward to, changing your work environment so that it's not the same thing over and over again, because people say that it's like a blend, like days just blend together for years, for decades after college. And I don't want to feel like my time is slipping away, just because I start working a real job. And again, that all comes with aging. And it's really scary to think about. But I'm not going to think too much in the future. That's what my therapist said. Not going to worry about that, not going to overthink it. But I am going to thank me and everybody that was in my life for that whole year, and all of my life, really. But I'm very happy that I made it to 22, and that I had a great 21st year, and I'm very, very grateful for everything and everyone, and I'm very excited to see what 22 has in store for me. Hopefully all good things, please. Universe, if you hear me, please attract amazing things and opportunities and people and love and awesomeness. That would be awesome. And happy birthday to me, and happy birthday to everybody else in the whole wide world. And that's it. I think that's it. Okay. Yeah. Again. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you. Bye-bye.